I had lots of people refer to me as scrawny.
I still get asked if I am pregnant sometimes.
I suppose I used to be really hung up about being very short, so I'm 5'4", but otherwise I quite like my body. I think it's all right.
I decided to get into the body image project because I had so many issues with my body image. I have a hunchback because the muscles in my back are weakened because of coughing constantly. I get bloating quite severely. I also sweat profusely, and it wasn't until I'd done this project that I realised there was actually something there that I could take or get to help me with this. And then also I used to wet myself quite a lot when I was coughing until I started actually doing pelvic floor exercises to try and strengthen my muscles to prevent that from happening.
My arms, I'm quite aware that they're thinner than a lot of people's, a lot of men's. My back, my posture, certainly as I've got older, my posture's got worse.
I'm neither proud or ashamed of my transplant scar. So the scar runs from here all the way through, and it was like any sort of operation, you get a big scab after. So initially I wasn't upset by the way it looked or anything. It was more that I was very scared of arching backwards and sort of spilling open. But I was just so happy that I could breathe. I was just overwhelmed and happy with that, and that just trumped everything.
The bits of my body that I'm proud of, I suppose, would be my beard. And for obvious reasons, hopefully, my tattoos, and generally, I suppose, any areas that don't look too CF related. In my eyes aren't too thin or, too bloated or too scarred.
My legs and my arms, I say that because they've become more toned since I've been going to the gym, and it started to make me feel a bit more stronger.
The part of my body I like the most would be my stomach. That's because I have abs just from coughing so much from cystic fibrosis, and in the past I've got a good attention from that.
How I feel about talking about my body image as a man, it definitely makes me feel uncomfortable. But then I suppose that's probably true as male or female. Everyone expects that everybody else has great self-confidence in themselves, and and obviously that's not the case. We all share the same worries as as healthy people and non-healthy people.
I personally have refused to have ports and stuff like that. And when I go into hospital, I don't tend to, if I go out, I don't really tend to go out and see friends. It'll just be family, just so that I don't have to have people, I don't like people to see me ill.
Having treatments performed on me and on my body is something that I don't think I'll ever get used to, and I often think that my body goes through a lot, and I'm quite aware of the long-lasting damage, if any, that it has on me.
People of all ages notice my scar, whether it be getting changed at training or going swimming or at the beach or something. But it's more often than not that it's younger people who would ask about the scar, like young children. And I'd happily tell them, I had poorly lungs, and so they swapped them for good lungs. Like that, kind of say it how it is, really.
I'd rather people be upfront and honest if they've got something to talk to me about. It's generally better for me if they ask me rather than sweep it under the carpet, and we're never going to have a dialogue and educate anyone if that's the case.
Because I haven't spoken to many people with cystic fibrosis, I failed to realise that actually some of the symptoms that I'm suffering with, they're not just because of me, it's because other people with cystic fibrosis suffer from them. And it helped me to kind of speak up a bit more, especially with my CF team. It gave me the confidence to kind of say, you know, I am struggling with this, you know, others with CF struggle with it. Is there something we can do about it? You know, we don't get the chance to interact with one another, so as much as we can talk to each other on social media or using these kind of guides is really helpful to let you know that you are normal and this is something that comes sometimes with your cystic fibrosis, and that there is something that can be done to help you.